Rob Kahn and Batista and all them, and this dude named Joseph Couture, Josh's brother, and all them, and this fat fuck that, you know, he was in a band with, Josh Couture was, you know, before he died of fentanyl coke overdose at like a party with them or whatever, which I got the receipts that at least Joseph admitted that it was at the thing, because they had been trying to, like, you know, frame me for some shit or like get intel on me through my phone and whatever. So they were working with my neighbors and having cops, you know, tune me up and all this other shit, you know. So along with my evil neighbors who have been working with people too, and just blah 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 blah. But I wasn't involved in that Rebecca girl's murder at all, which is not related to the family. But I had said a long time, like, this like really highly concocted bit troll thing. This guy H. Lee that I've been talking about, and the whole funny thing was like, you spread it out to other people. H. Lee contacted other people, right? He contacted like all these dog fighters and shit, and people in the fraternity, which is like just like a group of guys that everybody knows each other within game pits. But I'm not in it like that. Like, I just buy from, you know, I buy from Dogmen, but so does everyone else when they buy one from Tom Garner or any of these other people. So you know, you're gonna buy from someone who has history in the breed, and a lot of them did do dogfighting. It's a common thing now. So but I don't obviously dogfight. I just keep them as little hamsters. Like, I let them fight on my arm. But, you know, I let them, you know, just as mainly working pets. But, like, you know, I like to work them. You know, I like to get them on animals that are in the yard or whatever. Strays. They're just bad dogs sometimes. But anyways, so it's like, no. The idea is that, like, what happened was that, like, H. Lee said it around, because I was, like, going through some shit, and I was saying some bullshit, and I said some crazy stuff, and, like, I don't know Triple J or any of these other dog men, but, like, I knew them a little bit, and stuff, and all this other shit, but not much. And I had said on my phone, because, like, I've been fucking with them, I say different things, I go back and forth on stuff, so I'm waiting to see if these investigative people try to frame me and shit. But I didn't really know Triple J. I didn't give him any money, you know, I didn't do anything, and, you know, they're just gonna try to, like, act like it or whatever, try to set me up. But I have nothing to do with Triple J. I've never met Triple J. I think I might have commented on a YouTube page about Triple J before, but I didn't know literally anybody, you know what I mean? And I don't dogfight at all, so they're gonna try to, like, you know, frame me. So I'll have this up, and the bot farm people, you know, the bot farm investigators on my YouTube will see that this is like my last video that I post up. So, like, I'll have it just in case, because I know they've been in my phone trying to get stuff. So I just say a bunch of crazy shit. Like, I change up my story about, like, many different things in my life that happened 5 different times, and they keep trying to, like, wait for the best one basically to essentially, like, go on. And then you know, I'll have my polygraph test either way done by then. So that's what they're really trying to do, is, like, set this whole thing up. But I don't know any of those people. I never paid anybody. All the messages basically that I said to H. Lee was just like, you know what I mean, was basically just like, you know, blah 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 blah, you know. I said, like, to set all this stuff up, but it was a very clear joke. It was a very, like I said, it was like a crip. And, like, you know, I've been working with a team of dog fighters, and I was just trying to scare everybody in the dog community, like, to just be retarded, or to not be retarded and to not dog fight. You know, I've been trying to steer those bad people from stopping animal abuse, like, you know, which they're already gonna do it. So just, like, you know, I basically say shit like, you know, do it, like, without anyone knowing, or, like, if anything, because, like, I don't want the breed banned. You know what I mean? Like, I'll tell them, like, you know, do that shit on the yard. You know what I'm saying? Like yard accidents, you know, let them out. If you let them out, you know, if they don't like each other, you know what I mean, then all you have to do is break it up. But, you know, they, you know, realistically, I know none of them are gonna break it up. So, but, you know, like, I like to socialize mine, and I have lots of videos of socializing mine. I don't dogfight though at all. I've never even been to one. I have a lot of, like, dogfighting videos on my phone, but that's just people's shit, you know what I mean, that they send me and whatnot. It's not a big deal. But I don't have nothing like that is any of mine. So, but everything's on my channel. Everything like, you know, everything's on my YouTube and shit. But either way, like, and Facebook and everything, like, I don't have nothing like that. But, you know, just occasionally in a blue moon, the dogs will get mad at each other or whatever. But I've had a few that, you know, I had to, you know, really get in there, you know, before it got bad. But nothing usually bad at all. But anyways, essentially, what was I trying to say? Essentially, like, so originally I said this troll shit, right, to H. Lee when I was going through my dog dying of cancer, face cancer, and Holly, my ex, was like fucking with me and shit because she was contacting people and being along with, talking to people about stuff regarding my dogs and trying to set me up or fuck with my life and just do different shit like that. And, you know, because of what happened to this Rebecca girl, because I said a troll, right? So basically I said a troll, right, to H. Lee, saying I was like some undercover person, and like I essentially like, you know, am working with Malcolm Thompson or something, and I'm his protege, and I'm like low-key a Crip. I'm a Crip, you know, and just blah, 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 blah. Like, I said something so stupid that, like, nobody would believe it, but I was like, yeah, you should, you know, I'm the one who murked Josh Couture, and, like, you know, blah, 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 like, I'm gonna get his wife next or something. And, like, I said his wife was, like, her real name was, like, Rebecca, and they call her Ellie or some shit, but it was not true. Like, it was a completely different person, which is why I thought it was funny. But I said all this crazy shit, right? And then H. Lee sends this fucking shit to Triple J, apparently, which I didn't know he actually talked to Triple J for sure, because that's one of the things I said to do, you know. But it was like a highly concocted, like, funny, it was hilarious. It sounded retarded. And, like, you know, I had said some shit like, yeah, just really get it done or something, like, but I was joking. And, you know, I told it to H. Lee, and then H. Lee contacted these other dogfighter dudes, and they were like harassing me and saying what's going on, and I was saying stuff like, I don't know, like, all these people and stuff, you know, they basically, like, what was I saying? Like, I was like, all these fucking people, they basically, you know, were built on my channel, like, watching my stuff. You know, I was just trying to see, like, what they were gonna do, which I really didn't think they were gonna do anything. And, you know, one guy in particular goes, yeah, like, don't worry about it, we'll handle it. I'm like, wait, what? And, like, and that kind of threw me off, which I think I had said to say it would get done, but I still didn't really think that they would get it done. You know what I mean? Like, you know, like, where, like, they actually would, like, do something. I was thinking maybe tops that they would, like, beat somebody up, but, like, you know, I didn't know, like, you know, anything about that shit. But, you know, and I just, like, you know, I knew that it wasn't the same person. I knew that Rebecca wasn't, you know what I mean? I knew that Rebecca wasn't fucking even related to Josh, because I looked up if she was related to Josh beforehand. So I was kind of trying to, like, get Triple J and others, because I knew Triple J was dogfighting. So it's like, I tried to, like, get him on some shit, but I really didn't think he was gonna do it. I thought he would maybe, like, go over there and, like, beat someone's ass or something, like, you know what I mean, or some stupid shit like that. But yeah, he basically, like, I think it was Triple J that did this shit, which is crazy. But, like, basically, like, all these dudes ended up contacting, like, Triple J, I guess, which I didn't really know for sure, and that was part of, like, the little evil plan. Like, but, you know, I didn't really think that they would do it. I kind of was hoping that Triple J would do something dumb, because he just seems dumb. You know what I mean? Like, I really didn't know him at all much. He just seemed real dumb. And this fucker, like, looked, I mean, I'm talking to a T, this guy looks exactly like Triple J in this video, where, like, they said this girl, Rebecca whatever, got murdered by this dude. I'm talking, like, titty nipples and all. It looks exactly like this girl, and, or I mean, this guy with, like, a blue thing on, and, like, to a T, based on the troll that I said. I was like, what the fuck? This comes out, like, way months after Josh's, you know, death. So, like, I was hoping that, like, you know, like, I remember Josh was dead before I even said the troll. So that's why it was funny. I said something like, yeah, it was me that, you know, whatever. And I was like thinking it was stupid of me to do that because, like, you know, I wasn't even aware of how he died, and I was like, oh shit. So I had to figure out how he even died. But you know, and then I was like, because it was just a dumb troll, you know, and it was like, it was me being stupid and funny, like Eric Andre type shit. And then like, you know, I said basically, yeah, like I basically was trying to figure out with Rob Kahn like how he died, and then they said it was like an overdose and somebody was there, and I was like, oh shit, all right, thank God. You know what I mean? I was like, all right, thank God, you know. And I think I'm trying to remember if I think I had said something about some shit because I knew he was in my phone before then. But like, if I, you know, if like his brother was doing CPR on him or something, if you know it was me, or I said something to show that if you know it was me. I'm trying to remember, but he said the thing that I had thought about. You know what I mean? But yeah, I mean, it's just like that I had said to say if he heard what was going on, and I have those messages. You know what I mean? So he said basically like, oh yeah, he said, well, yeah, all it was I said to say that you were having somebody investigated or something, you know, or something like that. And so that's what he said. So, which I don't know how or why you would have it investigated if like you knew he got coke. Just find his, you know what I mean? Like you would just, who's his dealer, you know, at this party, or like, you know what I mean? He used to take bumps at parties. But and his brother was there, but like, why is he grabbing coke from a random dude? You know what I mean? Like, why are you buying coke from just a random stranger? That's fucking retarded. So I don't have nothing to do with it, you know. But basically, like, yeah, sweetie, hold on. He died from you know, fentanyl or something, and then like this Rebecca chick, you know what I mean? This Rebecca chick was like just some random person who I was like fucking with people saying that like she lived down the street from the gym and all this other shit, and I figured it was them, but like I really didn't know, and like they weren't related to Josh, so you know, I was just like, I don't think that they're even related, so I just thought it was like kind of funny because I didn't want to get Josh really hurt, you know what I mean? Like, so I just said like, yeah, like these motherfuckers, like I was hoping actually that like he would, if he did go there, like I really didn't think anybody would do that shit, but I was hoping that if he did go there and shit and did something, that like the people would just like shoot him, and it would just be like this whole funny thing, and he tried to like, he got the wrong people, you know, and like nobody would ever know that I had even said some shit that was about it, but I didn't know what the fuck he was gonna do. I don't know anything about Triple J, you know, it was just a funny joke. But yeah. So they try to get him to flip and say we're best friends or something. I've never talked to that dude in my life other than like maybe a fucking YouTube message. That was it. I don't know him like that at all. So checkmate, niggas. Like